You are listening to High School 510, Quarantine Conversations, the full interview with Mr. Jim Beam of the Princess Cruise Liners.
Number 3, have an evolving diet. This is not the proper time to only be vegan, pescatarian, meat lover.
You gonna eat your cornbread.
Exactly. You gotta have revolving. Because you gonna go to the store and the shit you like ain't on the shelves. Mm-hmm. I mean, I picked up swordfish today. I like swordfish. Expensive shit. You think I want to pick up the most expensive shit in Trader Joe's? But I had to. Because it was the only thing in there.
I was looking for tilapia.
See how agitated he is now? I know. Let's make lemonade. Okay.
Exactly. Invest in lemonades. You don't want to get scurvy during this time. You don't. Sorry, I just had a scurvy attack. See what happened? I ain't fucking around with limes or lemonades. Invest in.
Serving white cake.
You would have got some limes, some lemons, this and that. Columbus and them wouldn't have had scurvy and got over there and raped all them natives.
Is that really
That was just saying we're over, not look around.
Look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. Look around.
How long have you known?
A month or so.
Eliza, you turn this shit on.
Hey, that's the Hamilton soundtrack. Shout out sponsorship. I think it fits very well with what's going on. Look around. Anyways, we have a special guest about to come on with us. One Mr. Jim Beam, that is his alias. We are giving him. He has asked us to affectionately call him that. He happens to be one of the cruise ship passengers that was quarantined and the cruise ship that was brought to the port of Oakland last week. So he currently is in quarantine, literally, true story, no lie. This is not made up, y'all. And it's a friend of Milt. So Milt, you want to just tell us a little bit about how you know this dude? Jim Beam here was an old former coworker of mine, good guy. Known to throw some elbows on the basketball court. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, I was scrolling through my Instagram moments the other day, and these stories, it's an addiction, the stories, and I see somebody looking through what looks like the side of a ship, one of those little windows, and I see something to the effect of, this is my quarantine tent. And I said, oh my goodness, I realized that this is someone who might be on this vessel. Mm-hmm. So I've been keeping tabs with Mr. Beam. And, I do want to offer a sense of regularity to a friend of mine as they're going through something that I think all of us would find to be traumatic. Mm-hmm. But that being said, we were having a conversation. That's myself, Jarrett, and AG3 here. And they were like, hey, get him on the phone. See if we can do this. And to his credit, he's more than ready to answer some questions that undoubtedly we all have for him.
Yeah.
I think this is a great connection to have, and not a great connection in that way. Like, obviously, that sounds terrible.
Fucking asshole.
But if we want to get a lens into somebody who's actually dealing right now, currently with some of the quarantine stuff, and as it's becoming a bigger issue in our society and our country, somebody who is on the kind of the precipice of this crisis, he's calling in right now, and quick Q&A with Mr. Jim Beam.
Hello?
What's up? It's Milt.
Hey, what's going on?
I mean, Jim Beam. What's up, Jim Beam? What's going on? We'll edit that out. We're gonna get that in post. We're gonna beep that out. If I may, Mr. Beam, I got you on the line with a DJartt, my homie Jart, used to work with as well, and our good buddy AG3. These guys have been doing the High Score 510 podcast for some time now. Thank you for joining us and being open to talking.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem, man. Ain't got nothing else to do here, so.
Oh man.
We'll try to entertain you for a few moments here.
Hey, that'll work. That'll work.
All right, so I guess just starting out, what is the current situation you're in, and how did it all start?
As far as where I'm at right now, or just the whole thing in general?
Yeah, I guess from we kind of prefaced it a little bit, but you were on a cruise ship, so I guess the cruise ship. How did the cruise go before everything hit the fan? And then to where you are now.
Okay, yeah. Well, the cruise was cool. Hawaii's always good, but we were supposed to stop in Mexico, and I noticed they have like a little TV channel showing where the boat's going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 2-something in the morning. I just kind of flipped past that, and I seen the boat direction kind of change, going back towards San Francisco instead of towards Mexico. So I knew something was kind of up, but they didn't say anything until the next morning. And then basically the next morning, they just told us that we were going to go to San Francisco because something was going on with the coronavirus. That's pretty much all they said at first. So I just thought we were coming back early. You know what I mean? I thought we would just come back and get off the boat early and not go to Mexico, because I thought maybe something was going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then about, I want to say sometime later on that day is when they said, exactly kind of what was going on, and then that we might be stuck a little longer than Saturday. So about a day went by, everything was pretty much normal on the boat. I kind of just chilled and stayed in the room anyway, because I was like, oh shit, I think something's going on here. Somebody got it or something. So I just stayed in the room voluntarily the first day. And then after that, they came on and said that we all had to stay in our rooms. So we ended up being stuck in our rooms for, almost 8-9 days. And then, then they told us we'd have to come to an Air Force base and be quarantined for 14 days more, which is where I'm at now.
Yeah. Well, Jim, this is AG3 here. Welcome. I just want to ask you a quick question. When you guys are quarantined for those like 8 to 10 days, did they come by and make you like monkeys out of the towels like they normally do? You know how they be making monkeys and animals and turtles out of the towels normally when you leave the ship and when you leave your room and you come back? When did that stop? Did they keep that up?
No, so they came by the room maybe like once after they announced that, and then they didn't let after that they stopped allowing even like the service to come over to our room.
Really?
The only thing they did after that was they would knock on your door and they would put like a tray of food outside your door, and then you just had to like pull it in.
That's like
kind of like jail.
Yeah, I was saying that's real prison style right there. That's real prison style. When they sit there and
I mean, shit, the food got dramatically worse as the days went on, and and sometimes they didn't even bring nothing. So
man, sometimes they didn't bring anything.
Nah, sometimes they didn't bring anything. Like they were supposed to, but
that's
what I was hearing, because I was looking at my phone and some little chat rooms and shit of people on the boat.
Yeah,
and they were all just saying that some of the people told them that they were just running out of food, so they had to kind of ration it. So sometimes you got stuff, sometimes you didn't. At least where I was at.
That's when you let them know I'm trapped in. This is my room, 41C. I got a runny nose, not feeling well, and if I don't see a plate in front of me, I'm going by and hugging everybody.
Hey, to be honest, you know what? I was kind of glad. Like I didn't even want to open the door at first. I was like, shit, I don't know who got this shit. so I was kind of happy for a minute, but then you kind of get used to it, man. Because I don't know if y'all ever been to jail a little bit, but you ain't too hungry anyway when it comes to that kind of food. But yeah, the food was not that great, so I felt like I wasn't really missing much.
Hey, okay. So Mr. Beam, can you just give us a better sense of timeline just to make sure everyone's on the same page here? How many days were you actually in your room on the boat before you made your way to Travis? As I take it, that's where you're at. And can you give us an update on full days in, just on both sides, just so we know exactly kind of what it's been like from your perspective?
I believe I got out of my room on the 9th day. One of those was kind of myself, because I didn't think it was going to go down like that. So the first day when I found out, when I said I just stayed in the room, that was when I thought, like, we was just going to get off early because they told us we were going to get to San Francisco on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I believe that was like Monday or Tuesday. So I was like, okay, I can stay in a room a day or two till we get off this thing. I didn't realize that they were going to, you know, do what they did and take as long to get off. So I actually was in my room like a day longer. So I believe 9 days in the room. And then I've been here, I don't even know, let's say Sunday. I've been here probably, I believe, since Wednesday, man. The days kind of just running together at this point. But
Yeah, totally.
I think I'm on like day 4 or 5 here.
Okay.
Well, you know, I mean, obviously we're here to kind of lighten the load and change up your day to day as you're in a serious situation. So first and foremost, thanks for sharing this with us. It is actually really awesome. I think a lot of people have questions about what the procedure's like. So all jokes aside, I think you're giving us some information. I was wondering, you know, like, what did you do to pass the time? Because if memory serves right, you didn't have a computer on you, or you didn't have any way to watch. Like, can you give us an idea of what resources were available to people as they were locked in the room, and like, how many, like, did you have access to movies? Like, what kind of content were you soaking up to pass the time? Were you doing push-ups? Were we talking like a real?
How many
prison system?
episodes of Judge Joe Brown did you see?
I didn't see any, man. So I had a phone. I didn't have a laptop, and I had my phone. I started doing little workouts, but after a while, man, I just ended up just sitting in the room. They have a TV, but it's not like cable or anything like that. It's just kind of pre-programmed TV shows and movies and stuff like that. But you know, nothing too great. And man, a couple days in, you kind of watch what you wanted to watch off of there.
Yeah.
And you know, there wasn't much to do, man. The TV was just kind of like having a voice in the room. You know what I mean? It wasn't too much. Wasn't too much good about it at that point.
Yeah.
You know? I couldn't really get into a movie for like 19 straight movies.
Yeah,
I hear that.
So right now,
just on.
oh, sorry for interrupting.
No, it's good. So yeah, the TV was just on. Honestly, man, there wasn't much to do. The time went slow, and you just kind of sat there. I don't know what other people did, but you know, I tried to. At first, I was trying to stay busy, then you kind of just give in. After a while, I was just on the bed most of the time.
So right now, are they providing a streaming service or any of those services to you?
At the base, we got cable. That's about it. Cable, and they have a Wi-Fi, but it's super slow. That I'm just using my phone service.
Leave us a number of who we could talk to. I mean, they can at least give you Pornhub to help you pass the time or something in that nature.
Unlimited downloads.
I don't know the president's number. I don't know who you call here, but
General somebody on the Air Force Base?
Everybody here is like a volunteer, so they don't really have too many answers either.
Wait, they got you with a bunch of docents?
pretty much. So there ain't nobody to call or really reach out that knows too much of anything here.
I bet you they stole the people that worked at the botanical gardens who were like, hey, we need y'all to help with this. He's like, come over here and help out. So you run the volunteer too?
I mean, when we got here, they basically told us they're volunteers, and they say, usually like they go to places that there was a fire or something like that. They said they've never dealt with this kind of stuff, so I think it's new for them too.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
for sure.
So would you ever go on a cruise again?
Shit, I do like cruises, man, but it's gonna be a minute.
Did they give you any time to go out to the deck when they had you guys like starting to like quarantine for those 9 days, or was it all day in the room?
Man, it was all day. They let on probably the day or two before they let everybody off or started to get off. They started announcing that they were going to let people go and go up on deck and get some yard time. You know what I mean?
I don't want to call it that, but it is what it is.
But it never got to me, so they never let me get out. So that was kind of tough. I mean, as far as being locked on the cruise, I mean, I feel like it's pretty rare that something like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I guess it's not a great place to be. It's not a great place to be when something like that happens, because you kind of don't got any control over what happens from then on out.
Nah,
yeah. Did you see any? Did you witness? Especially once they opened up the little yard time, any 70-year-olds doing prison workouts?
Nah, man.
I mean, I can imagine it going real prison real soon, you know.
I don't think they would be able to bust the burpees down, you know, for the most part.
On
I
level
don't
3.
think they could do all that.
Yeah.
You know, like people making pruno in their room. I swear that might have happened. Like some old folks, I mean, they probably had some prunes
It's
with
actually
them.
just prune juice.
There's prunes with them, and they're making the OG pruno.
They might have, but they might have kept that in the room. I don't know. You know, they might have had a little extra energy from being
Have to keep
locked
that
up.
system rolling.
You know, they might have, but I didn't get the opportunity to see that because they didn't let me get in yard time. So, you know.
Did you hear anybody out there say,
Nobody punking nobody here.
did you see any old people?
I didn't hear that, but I'm sure it went down. Yeah. I'm sure it happened.
So they had you guys in the ship for the 9 days, and then they, got you to the port of Oakland where you guys offloaded. Mm-hmm. And then from there, like, my question is, like, what was the protocol of, like, getting off the ship? Like, did they do you like, when they trying to cover up a celebrity who's coming out of a club or had some shame coming out of court, they put like a jacket over your head and throw you in an SUV? Or was it like they gave, like, what was the protocol when they got you off the ship into the vehicles and then on to Travis?
Shit, no, I think it was the opposite of that. I think they was trying to ship, you just basically, all you had to do was come off the boat, right? And then you walk up to this little tent where the people are at. When you walk through the tent, they had drones out there, stopped flying around. It was news camera. But, I'm not really sure how the procedures were thought of because they had you locked in your room for whatever, 8, 9 days, and you couldn't go around nobody. You couldn't go outside. You couldn't do nothing. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as they say, okay, we're going to ship you over here, they pull you out and then put you on a bus for hours with all these other people, that
Oh, really?
you don't even know, and you in a little room. And what really didn't make sense is they were super cautious beforehand, right? Mm-hmm. Then when you go on the bus, I just kind of tried to sit next to the window, kept my mask on, and kept away from these people. But, I mean, it didn't really make too much sense to lock us up for that long and then just put us on a bus with all these people that we don't even know that, could have it, could not, and just basically eat and act like nothing's going on. So I really didn't understand their procedure of that,
So we lost you a little bit there. It was kind of going in and out. But to clarify, so basically they were super cautious, and then when it's time to transport you, they're like, everyone get on the same school bus.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fuck.
And shit, we didn't even leave. We were sitting there outside for like an hour and a half on the bus. Yeah, so I was stuck on a bus with these people for like 4 hours.
Damn. Are you standing in a certain part of your room right now, or we're getting a little bit of it's starting to kind of break up when you're talking. Is there a better place you could stand and talk so we can get the best audio from you?
Oh man, honestly, it's kind of hit and miss. I've been in the same spot. For the other parts of the room, my phone didn't even really work.
You're good right now. You were just breaking up a little bit as you started to tell us about the bus ride. But wherever you were when you picked up, leading up to that, it was pretty good signal. Hey, Grady, this is where I'm going to take the liberty to ask you, who is your cell phone provider?
He always try to sell you.
I have T-Mobile.
No!
I just messed them up.
So this is where I mentioned I work for T-Mobile, and I was going to say we're going to change that. I will say, due to federal regulations on building on military bases, it's very hard for us to add DAS systems in those areas. So, the challenges persist.
Conspiracy Brother thinks that they are listening to your conversation right now, and we are all being listened to by the NSA. So,
hey, I'm gonna tell you like this.
Yes.
I talked to my buddy last night, and my phone every single time, like we tested it. We started talking about whatever different shit. My phone was fine. Every single time I started telling him some shit that was going on here, my phone cut off. Every time, like cut off completely, hung up. Like the third time, he was like, all right, this is not a coincidence, man. Every time I'm telling you something about what's going on, my phone's cutting off. Because he's over in New York, and he just wanted to get the scoop from out here. So
yeah,
it's a good chance that they actually are doing that.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's why you got to get one of them burner phones. They can't tap into those as easily.
They tapping them all
Metro
day long.
Get that Getro PCS.
First off,
You know?
I got one quick question. Do you think Grand Princess Cruise Line would be a good sponsorship for our show? Or would they come cheap right now?
Are they looking
I
for?
say whatever gets you out there, man. You know, and they probably trying to give out a lot of money right now to, save face. So go for that.
If anybody on that ship that you're still in there, if they quarantine, would just let them know we got a sponsorship spot available for them.
All right, I'll let them know.
Is there any final? We're gonna let you get back to it, but is there any final messages or just things you want to say to our listeners or to anybody who might listen to this, just from your perspective, or just any advice or anything that you just want to just get off your chest and just say?
Oh man, well, I guess it's a little like doom and gloom, but I just want to say you never know how much power the government's got until something like this happens. You know what I mean? Because there ain't much you could do. When they come down and say this is what's going to happen, then that's what's going to happen, So that'd be my advice. I'm not sure how free people are, how, people think everything, you're free, you can go about your business and do whatever you're going to do, but you never know. Because I never thought I'd be, sitting up here locked up, and I get, it could be for the greater good or whatnot, but, you don't really have a choice. As they say, you're going to go do something, and that's what happens.
Well, I think as we're listening to you give us, updates about the situation you're in, first and foremost, I want to reiterate the fact that we appreciate you sharing with us.
Yes.
Thank you again, Mr. Beam. Needless to say, we all hope that you come out of this unscathed and healthier ever than ever. Obviously, let's keep the tinfoil hats on and let's monitor any type of larger initiative that might be at play. I know you and I have gone back and forth about where did this come from?
Conspiracy, brother.
Yeah, and when you get a chance, pick up one of them T-shirts for me that say, my homie went on Princess Cruise ship and all I got out of it was the coronavirus and this lousy ass T-shirt.
Hey, print me up some of them shirts. I'll
Put you up one.
Shout out to Travis Air Force Base.
Yeah, shout out to Travis Air Force Base and Roadhouse Steakhouse. They at least gonna buy you a Roadhouse Steakhouse out there.
We will accept.
They ain't got shit, man. We get muffins and cold ass sandwiches. That's all we get.
Shit.
And I know they got some steakhouses, and man, Arby's coming in, and I was like, oh, okay, let me get some of that.
We're gonna call into the management at Cattleman's Steakhouse in Vacaville.
Yeah,
and see if they can get you some of those Rib Wednesdays to come down there and help.
Something, yeah. We'll put it out there that you guys ain't getting fed well.
Shit, I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate it for sure.
Hey, but good looks though, man. We hope that everything goes smoothly. Mr. Beam, thank you for taking time, and obviously on behalf of us three, and then everybody else who's listening, thank you for sharing. I think that this gives people extra information, which is really important right about now.
Yeah.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
We hope you stay healthy, man, and we're gonna let you go. But one last word, just always remember to
Pray, white Jesus.
That's so. And for the record, I don't got it. So when I get out, I don't want to hear nothing from people.
I'm clean. Clean bill of health, motherfuckers.
We'll catch you at Jamtown sometime soon. Shout out. Sponsorship.
Yeah, but thank you for calling back in, bro. They serve you the Arby's yet?
Man, I ain't got no Arby's yet. They did serve me a coronavirus test today, though.
Oh shit!
So they finally tested it, and to anybody that's thinking about getting it, I would say be ready. Because that shit hurt.
Oh.
They stick like this, kind of like I guess it's kind of like a long Q-tip, but it's different, like straight up your nose.
Yeah.
And I told the guy, I said, I've never been touching that spot before. Like they literally, it's like 6 inches. They put it like up into your, like, I don't even know where it goes. You feel it in like the back of your brain. It's crazy.
It's almost like it's like behind your eyeball or something, right?
Yeah, it's up there. Kind of a little painful and a little just kind of an awkward feeling, I guess. I
can feel that. How long do they say it would take before they would tell you the results?
They said since it's so crowded and busy, everybody's trying to get it done everywhere, that it could take a few days, like up to 5 days. So
maybe like, hey man, put me on that Trump regimen, man. He got his in like less than 12 hours.
Yeah, I'm probably not as important as him. I guess. So, they put me on the back burner on that one.
Hey, man, in my eyes, most people are more important than him, even though he's in a position of power.
Yeah, I think the NBA people get it faster. They get tested and they know like the same day. So
Yep.
I don't know.
No, I feel you. They got to get them. Yeah, they got the money gets things expedited for sure. Shit.
Oh yeah. You got a little bit of money. You get results.
Oh shit.
You guys are on lockdown too, so
yeah.
I feel bad for y'all as well. I'm like, man, even if I get out of here, I got to go back into another quarantine. Like,
well, at least you got some training to where yours is gonna feel like a little bit more relaxed than what you're into now. I would assume.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going through little baby steps. I went from locked into a room to locked into a little semi-prison and then just locked at home. So it's getting gradually better, I guess.
Yeah, I feel you, man. The thing I want to ask you, I was just thinking about the interview that we had with you on Sunday, and I was thinking there's a couple questions I think would be good, just to, give a little more clarity about like your story or like what some of the things you experienced. I know one of the questions your audio started going in and out, so I was hoping to maybe just ask you that one again and let you kind of give us the spiel about the process when you were kind of coming off the boat and that whole process, getting on the bus and everything, because the audio got broken up with the connection and stuff. So
yeah, no problem.
Okay, so Mr. Beam, were you on the cruise with anyone? Were you on the cruise by yourself, or were you with somebody? And if so, have you been able to be in contact with that person, or have you seen that person since you guys deboarded the ship?
Yeah, I was on the cruise with my daughter and her boyfriend. They had their own room, so while we were on quarantine on the ship, I wasn't able to see. I wasn't able to see them for those 8-9 days, whatever it was. And then they actually got off the boat the day before I did, so they came over here and were placed in a different area of the Air Force base. And then eventually I was able to call around and get things worked out to where they were switched over to where I am. So now I can see them.
Okay. So then are you all able to, everyone that's at the base right now, are you able to see each other like face to face, person to person, or is it more of like they got y'all like in like partitions, glass partitions, or whatnot?
There's different locations here on the base. They're all kind of maybe a half mile away from each other, so you can see the people that are in the same area as you. Okay. You're allowed to go outside. It's just it's kind of like a few barracks and it's like military housing.
Yeah.
And then it's got a fence around it, and obviously you can't go over the fence. And they got U.S. Marshals posted out every probably 100 yards or so.
Mm.
Guarding the fence, and then kind of like a little semi-prison, they got the portable spotlights. So when the sun starts going down, all the spotlights come on and shine in here, I guess, to make sure they're not running away. But you could see the people that are in your same section.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you've been able to see your daughter though since then though.
Yeah, I can see her now.
Okay, that's good. Well, that's good to know, because, yeah, man, that shit would be, stressful and burdensome, I could imagine.
As time went on, I didn't want her going through all that, kind of, not by herself, but just,
Yeah.
She's young, so.
Yeah. No. I feel you, man. Parents play a pivotal role, no matter what time in their development or how, old or young they are, parents are important throughout, so. In the time that you were on the boat before the boat went into like kind of the little lockdown / quarantine, did you see anybody or notice anybody that seemed like they were sick, or had you concerned, or that you noticed just like on your own?
It's gonna sound kind of bad, but on cruises there's a lot of older people that I would say aren't in the best health already.
Mm-hmm.
So. I've definitely seen some people that, unfortunately, that might have been their last trip regardless. But I didn't suspect anybody had, the coronavirus or anything like that, And I wasn't honestly really looking for it.
Yeah.
Nobody seemed sick around me or so, but some people definitely didn't look healthy. And there was quite a few people actually. Unfortunately, they had their little breathing machines with them and oxygen tanks. So there was definitely some older people on there. But as far as that and coughing and stuff like that, I didn't really start noticing that until after the fact.
Yeah, I feel you.
When we were getting off the bus, I noticed anybody that sniveled or coughed or I heard it from 100 yards away. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, man, all of a sudden you could become you got eagle eye and sonar detection for any kind of sniffle and clearing of the throat.
Oh yeah, he was on high alert when we were finally getting off that boat for sure.
Okay, damn. The other day when I asked you, or we asked you the process, if you wouldn't mind just going back over that. Once they told you were deboarding the ship, what was that process like? What did they what were the steps that they got from you walking off the boat to then ending up at Travis Air Force Base?
So basically, I don't know how they exactly determined it, but everybody got like a luggage tag that was a different color and number, and you had to wait for that number to be called for you to be able to get off the ship. And initially they said anybody from California, well, the first people off the boat were supposedly the people that were sick or had tested positive or whatnot. So those people were going to get off the boat first. And after that, it was supposed to be people from California. So I was supposed to get off the first day. But they ended up, I'm not sure why or whatnot, but they ended up letting everybody from Canada get off first, and then everybody from the UK get off next. And then they started kind of just jumping around. So I ended up getting off on the third day that they were allowing people to get off. And basically they call your number, you go to you go to where basically the middle of the ship where you can get off. There was a line there, people getting off, and then you walk down into where the people from the CDC was, where they basically you walk into a tent and they just ask you if you're sick. You tell them if you are or not, and then they take your temperature. And then once they took your temperature, you just got on the bus. And then when you're on the bus, we just kind of sat there for it seemed like forever. It was probably a good hour or so, or maybe even longer. And then they walked around and passed out sandwiches and water, and everybody took their masks off and was eating. And I was just kind of sitting in the corner trying to keep away from these people. But, yeah, so, and then they drove us over to Travis, and then we were kind of stuck on the bus for another hour and a half, waiting to get off and try to get checked in and get somewhere to stay.
How many people approximately would you say were on the bus with you on your individual bus that you were on?
Well, it was full. It was a full, kind of like a tour bus, with a big bus. And I would say probably at least like 60, I'd say, or 70. There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I didn't count them, but definitely it was full.
Yeah. Okay. Damn, that's a lot of people. That is a lot of people, man. They go from
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 on the seat, and I don't even know how many rows. So
yeah,
I would say minimum 50. But I think there's a little bit more probably.
Okay. Cool. And then so your current accommodations, like where you're staying in like a quarantine individual like solo room currently?
So it's basically like military housing. They call it the barracks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like a little apartment. So it's got like a little kitchen, a little bathroom and stuff. So it's not too bad. I mean, I would compare it to like a little hotel room or something like that. Nothing fancy.
Yeah.
But not too terrible, I guess.
Yeah, I guess what I was envisioning, like thinking, like where they would put y'all is like like a white padded room with like everything like lined with plastic, kind of like a black sofa, like a black person's sofa. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get no Jerry curl juice on it or nothing like that. Like all the walls is covered. But
well, the cool part is, I guess they use this same area for the last people from that other ship from Japan.
Yeah,
they were American. They came here, so we were kind of just shoved right back into like the sick people room. So, but I guess that's what they keep these for. I'm not quite sure, but
okay.
Yeah, that would have been a little worse.
I was like, I always get this, like, whenever I think quarantine, I be thinking, like, man, it's like padded walls, like, you know, like Arkham Asylum type shit or something like that.
Man, I did read and I saw some stuff that the people, if they weren't from California, the ones that got shipped to Georgia, I think they got the worst deal because from what I heard, they just got put in pop-up tents.
Oh,
and
shit.
They got porta potties outside the pop-up tents, so they're just kind of, you know, they're kind of roughing it right there.
Oh, so they got that fire festival treatment.
Yeah, exactly. But I was a little jealous of people from Nevada, Tahoe area, because I heard they just got sent home.
Oh, really?
Self-quarantine. So I was a little jealous about that one.
Oh, yeah. They're like, man, just go live in your cabin by yourself for a little bit. Don't come out.
Yeah, just sit up there on that mountain.
Yeah, sit on that.
No.
Go sit on some granite boulders and don't bother nobody. That's what they tell them.
Yeah.
And I guess the final question I had that I was like, I should have asked. I was like, man, you should ask that question. So you were saying, so you were kind of you guys were kind of locked down, self-quarantine in your stateroom or in your room, and they had the shitty television on where it's just repeating the same programs more or less, and then you had the food, which was kind of coming scarcely. Some days it was a sandwich, some days it was something nicer. But the real question I had is, because I've been on a cruise, and I know I paid that all you can drink meal thing. So my question is, did you have the all you can drink beverages ticket, and did the drinks keep flowing once y'all went in lockdown?
So I did not have that. So the drinks were definitely dry, and we were told at first that they weren't going to serve alcohol. Well, I was told when I called anyhow that they weren't going to serve alcohol in the very beginning because the staff was prioritizing, I guess, like with the food and all that. The room service people were really busy. But towards the end, on like maybe the second to last day we were there, they started sending us paperwork saying that they were going to clear out whatever was spent on the cruise card for that trip. So that's when the bottles started flowing for me because I was calling every 20 minutes and having stuff brought up there. So I made sure. I mean, they only come in little personals, but I was trying to stack the personals up. For my own well-being.
Yeah. So you was killing little bottles. That's what's up. I
was definitely killing little bottles. There wasn't much else to do there, but I think they got kind of wise to it after the first 24 hours because they said that they were going to stop the alcohol. I think once people started doing the most and taking advantage of it, they allowed them to tell them in advance.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the drink of choice that you were getting?
Man, well, they didn't have the Jim Beam on there, so you could only basically order by what kind of alcohol you wanted. So they were bringing me some awesome, her whiskey, but definitely whiskey was my drink of choice.
Okay. Yeah, that whiskey, man. That's I fucks with. I like a nice mezcal personally. That's my new shit is mezcals.
Yeah, I don't think they had that. The closest thing. I mean, I guess they might have had tequila, but stay away from the tequila. But
yeah,
they didn't have a great choice. Too many fancy stuff, or
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure how good the mezcal or scotch would be anyway.
Yeah, just go with what you know. Go with what you know. So I'm assume Jim Beam was one of the drinks that you got then.
The people think that's the lowest of the low, but trust me, there's lower. And,
no, there is.
With that,
trust me, I know.
Yeah, so whatever they was bringing, it was lower.
Oh shit!
Honestly, I don't even heard of it. I don't even know if they said it. I don't even remember what it was called.
Yeah, as long as for me, like Southern Comfort is one of those that I can't handle because it's so sweet. But SoCo Black Velvet, I've had that before. There's some those ones are still like higher level. I've seen some that I can't even name that I know are even worse than those in my personal opinion. So that's just crazy.
There's some cheap ones for sure. If the price is right, they fly off the shelf. If not, they're gonna have a couple pounds of dust sitting on them.
Yeah.
But
Shit.
But yeah, I wouldn't say these were good, but they were there. So
Okay.
You know.
Damn. At least they got you some alcohol for a couple of days, man. That's important because, you know, I would be sitting there, man, these motherfuckers ain't even hooking me up with a little sippy sip. Give me a little something to sip on, even a beer.
I thought they might start bringing it with the meals, or like a little something with breakfast, just because they should know. But you had to call and bug them, and then they would take a while to bring it too. So once they brought it, I'd hit them right back up.
Yeah.
It'll take a while.
Like, excuse me, I need another one. Excuse me.
I need another one. They start, sir, you ain't even drank that one yet. I'm like, I'm just planning ahead.
Yep.
It's funny, they tend to blame it on the car thing, but then they came on and said DC recommended not having any alcohol in your system because of the virus and stuff like that. So maybe they might try to use that excuse of why they stopped it from flowing. But
yeah, they was like, man, we're giving away free stock, man. We might be able to get away with having a surplus on the alcohol for the next trip. I'm trying to figure out what they're gonna do with this ship. Like how long is? Well, I guess there's not gonna be any cruises going on around for a little while, but. Or at least maybe they might shut it down for a little bit, but how they're gonna go through and meticulously clean and what their plan is for that, because that's a big ass vessel too.
So there was a guy that was on that ship before that went to Mexico. Mm-hmm. That's what they're saying is all this. So he got off the boat the day I got on.
Yeah. And
then he went to the doctor a couple of days later and died.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then there's the reports are saying that he actually went on to the ship went and saw the ship doctor. Mm-hmm. One of the first couple of days he was on the cruise, and so I feel like they knew about it. They knew that someone on the cruise was sick, or at least showing the same symptoms of that.
Yeah,
and didn't lock that ship down, and then let him get off, and then didn't tell us and let all of us get on.
Oh yeah.
So that was my, anger with what happened.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, your phone was going in and out a little bit there, so I kind of missed that part. But so what you're saying is there's a guy who was on the ship and then got off in Mexico. You said.
The trip was to Mexico.
Okay.
He got off in San Francisco also.
Okay.
And then he went to the doctors, had it, and then ended up dying.
Damn.
And then that's what sparked all of this.
Yeah.
And, he had actually went to the doctor on the ship,
and they didn't have.
Told him his symptoms, and they didn't stop it, And this is after what had happened in Japan already, so I felt like they should have took that extra serious.
Yep.
And they didn't.
Uh-huh.
And, they let him get off. They let that cruise go on as normal, and then they let us get on after the fact, and then the rest is kind of history. Everybody. The crew was all sick, and then people from my cruise is sick, and then,
Yeah.
So
that's fucked up.
They should have shut it down right then and there, and then we should have never even got on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the dirty side of doing business. It's like where do they draw the line of, going pessimistic and worst case scenario, or where do they, hope that it's not the worst case scenario, but then again, you're dealing with people's safety and ultimately responsible for individuals safety on this trip. I would think that they would choose to be extra vigilant instead of just thinking that it'll pass and no big deal. But it's
I think they're always thinking about profit, but in the long run, when you do business like that, I think it comes back to bite you just for the fact that they might have lost that cruise, but look at all the bad publicity that came from it, and look at all the money they're gonna have to lose and pay now. Mm-hmm. Because it just kept happening, so.
Yeah, instead of it being one cruise and shutting it down, yeah, now it's multiple cruises.
Mm-hmm. And it had a really bad domino effect on them, because in the cruise industry, a lot of the crew members, when they go to certain ports, the crew members get off and then go onto they transfer basically onto another boat.
Yeah.
So crew members that was on that cruise ended up transferring and then went to other ships, and that's why I don't know if you guys heard, but that's why a lot of the other cruise ships got stopped, and there was people coming down with it, because it was people actually from the crew from that same boat, so they kind of started carrying it to other boats with them.
Yeah.
So, I think if they had just handled that one guy different, this whole cruise situation could have been a lot different.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're seeing similar issues with society in the society today. There was some metric came out about Korea, how they were able to contain it pretty quickly, and obviously they have different governmental and social parameters and culture. So when they went to contain it, apparently there's like 31 cases or something like that they got 30 other people to like self quarantine and cleanse them out, but then one person decided not to follow and adhere to the quarantine rules, and they said accounted for 80% of the rest of the infections that occurred afterwards or something like that, because they basically spread it to one person and another person and another, and then it just blew up into pods of people. But like you think about it, it's like it's part of the paranoia. I'm trying not to be super paranoid, but at the same time, like understanding like how contagions, like even like if you look at like social media, like how rumors, or like in high school, rumors spread, or how like falsities on social media, or just anything, like it's still it's a contagion. This is like a physical like contagion that actually can spread, but that shit doesn't take much to get to somebody else, especially with the fact that we some people aren't clean, or cleanliness, and then just the close especially on a ship, the close quarters you hold with people. It's like shit, that shit'll jump from one person to another real quick. So
yeah, that's my biggest issue with how the boat handled the situation, how the CDC handled it. I mean, you quarantine us because we were around people that could have it, right? So you try to slow it down there.
Yeah.
But then you let us out onto a bus with these same people, and then give them food and let them take their masks off and eat. And I feel like it's the same thing. I think that's handled poorly, and I think that what the Bay Area is doing is going to be handled poorly as well, because if you think about it like this, they lock down the 6 counties or whatever.
Yeah.
But everywhere outside of there isn't locked down. So if you really wanted to, you could just drive out of there and then be somewhere else, you know? And to me, it doesn't really make sense to lock down these counties, because once it's over for us, like say these 3 weeks go by and then you go about your business, somebody that wasn't locked down, that might have got it from somewhere else, could just fly into Oakland or whatnot and have it, and then it starts right back up. So it's kind of like, where does that, if you're going to lock people down, I think at the very least, you shouldn't allow, maybe it should be statewide, or even, even the nation, who knows, but traveling in general, you're just going to mix it again, because it's like you said, if you could 99% wipe it out, but if you let that one person go with a highly contagious, illness or virus, then they could just start that right back up, because apparently, it started with one person to begin with, and look what happened.
Yeah.
So, how do you really stop that? By quarantining a certain area? Maybe you slow it down, but if you just let one person back that has it, it's just deja vu.
Yep. Yeah, no, I feel you. And they got people, they're doing some other Super Tuesday votes in other states. Some states postponed it. A couple states postponed it, but there's other states like Illinois and Florida still having theirs. And I know some places that are like predominantly, they do the whole certain areas have one poll booth, and it's small, and it takes hours for people to get in there and vote, get in and out. And they're saying like, people are in there waiting up to an hour to 3 hours trying to vote, and it's already like a enclosed small area, and some people are leaving because they're afraid, they're compromising their health, and it's unfortunate, because you're gonna get people not voting because they're afraid due to the stigma and the fear and whatnot with the virus. But then again, like, you also have poorly prepared situations if you want to administer this vote right now, you need to be extra vigilant with how you're going to administer it, and make sure people are taken care of, or make sure people feel safe to come vote. Nobody should feel unsafe going to vote. And this is like a prime example of people feeling unsafe to vote. And some people are, pushing through it because they really want to make sure they get their vote done. But it's kind of fucked up, man. It's real fucked up.
Yeah, it's just a real complex situation. I don't really know the best solution going forward, but hopefully it just kind of passes, and on to the next issue.
Yeah, on to whatever else next. Oh, NFL free agency, baby. Tom Brady sounds like he's going to the Buccaneers.
Good for him, I guess. I don't like him, but
yeah, I could care less. I hope he ends up looking like Joe Montana when he went to the Chiefs, or he's gonna still be decent, still be good, but it's gonna be vastly different what it looks like. But he's going to a good situation. He's got some big time receivers there, so that'll help him out. But
he does. I just think that when you get older, you just don't want to listen to certain people anymore. I think Belichick is kind of one of the people, and I think he stuck with him as long as possible. And he was just probably like I want to go enjoy my time somewhere, So,
yeah.
Maybe get a little more freedom. But
he can go hang out down in Florida and see how ignorant it is down there. Just like, hey man, hang out in this ignorance zone.
Yeah. he might end up divorced and catted up. Who knows?
You never know, man.
Living the club life.
Seriously, he gonna be in Tampa Bay, doing it big, and then he can retire in Boca Raton.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple things. I don't know. You Raider fan or are you a Niner fan?
Yeah. Raider fan.
Raider fan. I mean, the Raiders keep signing my Cowboys, man. That's all they do is sign the Cowboys. Y'all got Jason Witten today? Man.
Yeah. I'm not really sure about that move. I'm not really sure what made them do that. But, I'll be good for that.
I was like, man, y'all can have Witten. I'm glad y'all took Witten because I don't need that old dude who can't run, who can't block barely anymore, who's going to try and steal snaps from younger players who, have bigger upside. So
the move really don't make too much sense. I think maybe he's just coming in to mentor or maybe slide into like tight end coaching role or something. I don't know because he's old and can't really stay healthy and stuff like that. But I wasn't really too sure about that move.
Yeah,
I'm still a Raider fan. I'm like at this point, I'm a little less of a Raider fan. I'm an Oakland fan, first and foremost, and now that they moved, and I just can't flip teams. I'd rather not like football anymore than pick a new team. So. I'm still a Raider fan. It's just, slightly less, I guess.
No, yeah, I feel you. That's tough because, Raiders, I'm a Cowboys fan. Number one team is my favorite team. So I'm a Cowboys fan, even though Jerry Jones is a terrible human being. But a Cowboys fan. But Raiders, like, my second favorite team, even though it's like, it's still a distant second, but it's my second favorite team. And so I want to see them, do well, but at the same time, I got to give it to them when they make a bad decision. I think, I was hoping the Cowboys. I told my friend, I was like, I'm happy y'all signed him because that means the Cowboys don't have to deal with trying to waste money on him anymore. Because I was ready for him to be gone when he retired the first time. I was like, I don't even know why he's coming back. So.
Yeah, he keep popping back. He like the coronavirus. Can't get rid of him.
You can't get rid of that motherfucker. I mean, he's got off one ship and got on another one. He's gonna fuck that one up now.
Yeah.
His old ass. He
might.
He's like, Y'all also signed Corey Littleton, I think, the linebacker.
Yeah, he's a beast. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and
they
then
definitely need a linebacker for sure.
Yeah. Well, they got 2 first-round picks, so I don't know if you've been keeping up with the draft process or any of the prospects, but is there any players that you would like to see with either of those first 2 picks that the Raiders have in the first round? Either of those picks, a player that you've identified that you would be like, if he's there, it'd be tight to get him?
Oh, man, honestly, as far as the draft, I feel like I kind of missed most of it being on the boat, as far as like the prospects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tough one, though, man. I think defense, I always kind of feel like defense. I feel like everything else you can kind of, you could pick up kind of receivers later rounds and stuff like that. So I would go with probably best choice, defender. And I think we got the 12th pick this year, so
yeah,
it should be a pretty good one. The draft is crazy because you spend a lot of time hoping who you're going to get, and then they end up not being there anyway or being a bust. And, being a Raider fan, we definitely... Last year I give them this, they drafted well, but
yeah,
the last 20 years before that, I can't say the same thing. So I don't get too excited about the draft anymore.
Yeah, I feel you. Are you a Derek Carr supporter, or are you a Derek Carr, trade him in for a new one?
I've been a Raider fan a long time, so I would keep him. I'm not saying, he's the greatest of all time, but Raiders fans, like a lot of fans, they got real short memories, and he's definitely by far the best quarterback we've had in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody that is quick to want to get rid of him, I think they got a short-term memory because we went years and years and years with garbage quarterbacks.
But Matt McGloin.
I'm all for keeping him.
Well, what about Matt McGloin?
What about him?
I give you that. I give you that. I hate Derek. I don't hate him, but I have disdain for Derek Carr, and I want the Raiders to get rid of him as soon as they can find a better replacement. So I do agree that he's been their best quarterback in the last decade, probably since Rich Gannon had his seasons in the early 2000s.
Sure.
They haven't had.
I mean, and that was 20 years ago. So my point is, you might not be, the dream that we all wanted, but I mean, man, 20 years is a long time. I don't know if I could wait another 20. I might not be here.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
So, I roll the dice with him.
You roll the
I
dice.
give Jason Campbell a little credit. He was, he had his role in one of those years he was playing for us, and then he got hurt, and
then Palmer.
He was quick.
Then you had Carson Palmer come in for a little bit, and
I got amnesia about those years. I forget about them.
I forgot about those years too. But Carson Palmer was all right for a little bit, and then he kind of quit on the team. So,
Yeah, anytime you bring kind of a big name quarterback in, if the team struggles a little bit, they play that diva role, and they don't want to play kind of like how Moss did us back in the day, so I would like a quarterback that's maybe trying to prove himself and then end up being really good. That'd be nice, but definitely don't want to go through, 20 seasons of trying to find the next average quarterback. So I would say for now, keep him. Maybe the Raiders draft a quarterback, but now we got Mariota, so I'm not really sure if they're going to go that route either.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they got Mariota as an insurance policy. I was thinking there is some depth in this quarterback class. It would be tight to get take a chance on one of these young quarterbacks. Tua, everyone was saying tank for Tua, and now after his injury, he could be in that range.
He's kind of a question mark. He played well, and then he got hurt, and he hasn't played since, as far as I know. So, he might fall. And then, it kind of just depends on what the first picks need. I mean, if he's there, I don't really see them going after him just because we just signed Mariota, unless we're going to trade Carr. But, I don't think we need 3, but, you never know.
You never know. Yeah, I think they said Milt was actually saying that Chicago was looking at potentially trading. Chicago was interested in Carr, something like that. That's what he was saying. There was rumors. Yeah. Chicago's interested in trading for Carr or taking him off their hands. So if that's the case, then you can get a maybe 3rd, 4th round pick for Carr. And, maybe you do it. Maybe not. I don't know. Then you have to be full on going for a quarterback in this year's draft, though. But
yeah, I mean you never know. I wouldn't put it past anybody, but from what I'm hearing and seeing, I think they're gonna roll Carr this year.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll give Carr one more year, and then if he throws it away on fourth down again, then he's done. He's done that twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, and motherfucker, you got to go.
He got to go. I feel like he's good. He's decent. I think he got hurt a couple too many times, and he's a little scared to get hit.
Yeah, he got that shell shock.
It's kind of weird though, because he's scared to get hit, but once he starts running and scrambling, then he does the most and dives and tries to get the touchdowns, and ends up getting touchbacks. And
I remember that. Man, you bailed us out in that game. Thank you, Derek Carr. I'm gonna say thank you to Derek Carr for that play.
I should give him another shot.
Okay. Because you say so, I'm gonna give him a little more shred of my patience for this upcoming season.
So I would just like to see him take a couple more shots. I think he I don't know if he's worried about his stats per se, but I think he's worried about throwing picks.
Yeah.
If you watch any of the top quarterbacks, they just gonna put it in there. If it gets picked, it gets picked.
Yeah.
You're a hero or a villain, and I think sometimes he just kind of hovers right in the middle there. You don't take enough chances.
Yes, I don't need you to be inactive to be ineffective. I need you to at least be active and trying. And if shit goes wrong, you know, at least you tried. Yeah, that's what we were arguing.
That's why I think he could be better than he is, because if you look at a lot of times in the fourth, if we're trailing in the fourth quarter, I mean, he's got crazy numbers for making comebacks. So,
yeah.
And I think it's like when his back's against the wall, he goes for it. But during the rest of the game, he plays real passive. So
yeah,
he just needs to have that same mentality the whole game. I think that you know, he'd be better off that way for sure.
I don't think he's figured out how to, you know, build a lead and be playing from ahead. When the chips are down, there's no pressure. You know, he plays his best, and that's a lot of people do that. But he's a professional athlete.
It's kind of like there's two sides to that coin. The why are the Raiders always down in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
You know, so if he was a little more aggressive, like you said, a little more aggressive during the game, they might have the lead at that point and not have to do that. You know, so you got to take that into account, and you know, hopefully this year, you know, get a couple extra weapons on the offense, and you know, now that we got Witten, we should be good.
Good luck. Yeah, you have a dude who knows how to run a 6-yard button hook. He's a master at that.
Well, you know, 6 yards, that's about what Carr throws. So,
Carr's like, I could be comfortable with this guy.
Yeah, you know, you got Jacobs who's going to get you the first, you know, 4 or 5 yards on first down, and just a little in route to Witten and just march down the field that way. You
know, the only problem I have with Witten is that he runs like one of the old people. You know those Life Alert commercials where they say they fall and they can't get up? Like the stumble they did before they got to that point on the ground where they're saying I've fallen, I can't get up, is what Jason Witten runs like. A stumbling old person whose legs can't move faster than their body starts to fall, you know? So
yeah, well, maybe he'd be a decoy or something. Or maybe he blocks it. I don't know. I mean, they gave him like $6 million, so he gotta be able to do something.
Yeah. I told my friend, I said, you better be careful, man. He gonna probably try and get Clive Waller hooked on lean and Percocet again, so he get more playing time, because that's exactly what he gonna try and do.
I feel bad for Waller. He might have needed a couple extra years away from all that, because they're gonna put him in Vegas, huh? No.
Dude, yeah.
That's a risky situation. So hopefully, you know, he got paid last year, and hopefully he comes into this year, you know, still with his thoughts, you know, his focus, because now he's got money and not the best spot for somebody who's got substance issues.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the lights and all the stuff will keep him. You know, maybe it'll be enough stimulation to where he doesn't need to, you know, do drugs, you know. But I'm almost like, do you want to send him somewhere where it's boring and he feels like he's got to do drugs to escape? Or it's like somewhere where there's too much shit going on and maybe he'll... I don't know. You know, it depends on the type of person, I guess. But, you know, you send him to, like, Green Bay, Wisconsin, he might be like, this place is boring, man. Where my drugs at?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think if you got them kind of issues, you're gonna find a way regardless of where you're at. So
yeah.
You know, hopefully it just don't get, you know, put in his face too much, you know, in Vegas. But
yeah,
you know, off season's long, so I don't know what he's doing right now.
Well, now you can smoke weed though. Now you can smoke weed though. So the players, if he just needs to get a little fix, he can smoke some weed and not worry about getting suspended. So
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, just smoke you some weed, bro. You need some tink. We got tink over here. Got some gummies and edibles over there. You know, just do what you need to do, man. Go ahead and get a little fucked up on some tea.
Whatever he needs, just put the lean down.
Yeah, just put the lean. Put the opiates away. It's like none of those.
Yeah, all that. Just, you know, put them in the trash and you know.
Yeah.
Get the board or something.
Yeah, you smoke that good perp, it'll be just the same.
Number 5, and this is one of my most serious ones, and this is one a lot of people have a hard time with. You have to be comfortable punching your grandmother in the face.
Yeah, please.
Because it might come a time that, you know what, you're in the store and someone start tripping and, you know, they start mouthing off or they trying to snatch something out your cart, and you never know, you have to be comfortable. It don't mean do it. Don't go out looking for grandma or someone, an elder to punch in the face. Just know it might come down to that. And you have
want winners.
Exactly. You have to be able to live with yourself after that.
I want people that want to win.
Because you have to. You have to. I want people in my circle. I want you to be in my circle and be comfortable with that. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.